Alright. Welcome back to Jujutsu Kaisen anime review. Excuse me. Episode 36. We are talking to the 8th episode of Jujutsu Kaisen Culling Game, which is the 55th episode of the series, Tokyo Kali #1, Part 2. This episode covers the entirety 159. The chapter was skipped last 2 weeks ago. Pages 18 and 19 of chapter 162 basically finish up that chapter. 163, the first 3 pages of chapter 164, and pages 4 through 10 of 167. So, oh boy, this opening bit here. We focus on a character show up in the last episode, this lawyer. What is his name here? If I can get my thing here. Here we go. Hiroma. So we had this thing like, 98% of people were guilty in Japan. Kind of a weird thing to start with. And he's sitting in a bathtub fully clothed. I find this weird. And then we flashback before that where he is defending a guy accused of murdering a mother and daughter. He claims that the knife you guys pick up, he just happened to pick it up and brought it to his house. Also, he works for a non-profit that doesn't really pay him, except in food and some other stuff. I'm thinking like, that's not exactly how a non-profit's supposed to work. If you're part of a non-profit, you do receive a small salary. Yeah, this whole thing is quite suspicious. Also, having like a nursing home. There's one thing in the episode I was not really a big fan of. There was a scene where we have there was an assistant of Himuro's assistant in the episode. Her walk animation looked awful. I mean, this is Mappa, the studio known for fantastic animation. And what the heck is up with the way this is done? It looks awful. It looks horrible. This is so bad. Then we have the trial. First, he was announced not guilty. Then it's appealed. I'm like, why? Aside from the fact you have a knife, what motive does this guy have for killing this? Robbery. They didn't find the stuff in his place. They're just placed like 3 or 4 times. Also, this is also not the first time he's been accused. He was also accused of basically having drugs in his place. That was not his roommate. So he decided he was approached by 3 police officers. Not 1, 3 of them. I would think like 1 or 2, but why 3 to go after 1 freaking guy? This makes no freaking sense at all. And he was running home, checking out his cat, which is of a cat, and of course, basically, he has to look up the cat. And then they retry him. I'm like, what's the reason to retry him? And then he's pronounced guilty. The lawyer doesn't like that, so he uses his newly activated Jujutsu power to declare a retrial. Everybody come back. We're going to try this again. And then we cut to Yuji, where he is saving a kid being bullied. And I think he's in middle school based on his uniform. Like, he's part of Jujutsu High. He's in high school. And he just beats him up. We're going to continue this. We see Megami encountering this one guy who looks like he's wearing feathers. It's a brief scene. Doesn't go anywhere at all in this episode, the way it's shot. And then we have Yuji confronting Hiromu, where basically go back and forth about the rules. And then we kind of have a domain area sentence. And then the episode ends just right there. You probably watch this episode like, what the heck was that? What was up with this episode? What does that have to do with the Culling game? Answer? Mostly nothing. You might think, is this a filler episode? No, it's not. Because it's canon. Now, you cannot blame Mappa for this episode. They're just adapting what they need to adapt for part of the story. But how the story is written is not their fault. It's not Crunchyroll's fault. It's the originator's fault for that. But I would say the Culling game stuff, this is by far pretty weak. This is the weakest. It's not a terrible episode. It just very weak of an episode. I mean, this episode doesn't really cover a lot of the manga. I mean, think about it. It covers maybe like 2 chapters. And like, finish up another chapter and starts up 2 others. Well, in the case of 167... Also, there's some interesting happens in the episode, which we don't hear exactly without. This is really weird. I would have thought Crunchyroll would allow him to speak, but they cut the audio for this scene for some weird reason. We have the guy who is not the old friend of Gojo, who's talking to what appears to be a Japanese cabinet. Oh, by the way, yeah, this actually starts off this thing. You're thinking, why the heck would an episode adapt them for the first episode adapt a chapter? Why would they adapt the middle of the chapter first? Honestly, I have no idea. It's all about transferring points. We're going to choose the character name. The guy who's wearing the feathers. His name is Reggie Star. Oh, it's not feathers. It's freaking paper. Why the heck does it look like this is... So, apparently this paper is all receipts. And this character is played by Alejandro Saab. Which, it's a very brief scene. He apparently is a reincarnated sorcerer. Yeah. And it's all about... Oh, yeah, the guy's name is Kenju. The guy who's using the body of... So using Gato's body. So, I do like the ending of this episode, but a lot of this episode was just... In terms of the story itself, it's not... I don't mind crime drama stuff. It just... The first part of this episode just did not fit the story. You're probably thinking, like, shouldn't Mappa skip this because it doesn't fit the story? Well, they had to adapt to explain Hiromu's backstory. But it only lasts like half the episode. I mean, we don't get any major action until like halfway through the episode. So I think, is this a snooze fest? Depends on who you think about it. But with the exception of the one moment of the walking scene with the assistant, but the animation though was really good this episode. It's just, like I said, a lot of the story doesn't fit the story we're trying to sell here, but not Mappa's fault. They're just adapting what they need to adapt the band's story. Yeah, I'm probably going to put the blame of this on kind of a Mappa for adapting the way they did for this episode. But as for the story itself, I blame on the originator. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications. So my stream time. I'm going to do one more video, and that'll be hopefully another video for reviewing Radio Soldier. Okay? So more on that later. Okay, next video. Bye.